Hi, everyone. Just wait a little bit longer to give some people some time to join. Okay, why don't we get started? Welcome, everyone, to our info session for our summer treatment program for inflexible thinking. Um, we are recording this session so that we can send it out to people if they are interested and just want to see the presentation again, just so you're all aware. I have muted everyone. But if you have questions, you can message me through the chat. I also have on this meeting some of my colleagues will also be leading the treatment program this summer. So I'm going to get started with the presentation that'll go into detail more about our program. We're very excited to offer it this summer. Okay. Oh, right. Second here. Okay. Hopefully everybody can see the presentation. Please message me if it's not showing up for you. Okay, so this is this inflexible thinking summer treatment program that is being held at Spectrum Neuroscience and Treatment Institute this summer. Some of the people that are on our team, as many of you may know already, Dr. Eric Hollander is the director of the program. My name is Casara Ferretti. I'm one of the lead clinicians for this program and at Spectrum. Joe Janane is our executive functioning skills coach. Some of you may know him as well. Other people that will be working with us are Eric Hertz, Tarini Matz, Steve Rothman, and you may all know Emily, our practice manager. So let's first of all discuss what is inflexible thinking, as many of you may wonder. So you might know it as cognitive inflexibility or rigidity, um, rigid thinking, black and white thinking, behavioral inflexibility. These are all terms that we kind of use to describe inflexible thinking. And what it really is a rigid thinking style that presents challenges in adapting to changes in the environment or our routines or relationships. It it causes a tendency to become stuck in ritualistic or repetitive patterns of behavior and a need for sameness and order. And a lot of people with inflexible thinking struggle with transitioning and problem solving, adjusting their goals, and maintaining relationships. What we find is that inflexible thinking is common to a lot of different disorders like ASD, OCD, OCPD, anxiety, depression, and impulse control disorders. So rather than having a treatment program focused on one disorder, we decided to focus on this symptom that's present across many disorders. So The goals of our inflexible thinking program are to reduce rigid thinking patterns, to increase cognitive and behavioral flexibility, to improve verbalization strategies and self monitoring skills, in addition to improving social communication, conversational reciprocity, and relationship building skills. The components of our program will include mindfulness, acceptance and commitment therapy, social skills training, executive functioning skill building, cooperative video gaming, and additionally, there are multiple pharmacological treatments that could be added on through our practice as well, including esketamine, TDCS, intranasal oxytocin, and Endeavor RX, in addition to others. To review, so the program schedule will be Monday through Friday, the weeks of July 10th through July 14th, July 17th to July 21st, July 24th to July 28th, and July 31st to August 4th, excuse me. So I know there might have been some questions. You don't need to attend all 4 weeks. It is not a progressive program. It's a treatment program. So it's okay to attend 1 week in the middle, 1 week at the end, or any variant as such. You don't need to attend all 4 to benefit from this treatment program. We're asking that on the first day of treatment and on the last day that you participate, that the person participating comes in at 10 a.m. to do some assessments because we want to monitor the progress of the person participating. And all other days will be from 12 to 6:45 p.m. We will provide snacks and lunch, and we can help to arrange any transportation needed. And if you need to speak more about the cost of the program, Emily has the details for that. So this is what the daily schedule will look like for those participating. At 12 o'clock at the start of the program, we're going to begin with mindfulness, and we will do yoga. We'll have a short break before we do a longer acceptance and commitment therapy group, where we'll have a didactic, we'll do group therapy, and then I'll meet with each person individually. We'll then have another longer break, which will be supported by staff. After that, we'll move into a multiplayer video game, and then we will have a debrief on that video game and discuss strategies and how to improve communication based on how people participating interacted during that game session. We'll have another break before we move on to executive functioning training, social skills training, and then end with a short group exercise. On day 1 and on the end of treatment, we'll be doing the assessments so that we can measure your progress in the program. And we're going to ask you to come in at 10 a.m. on those days so that our clinician can complete these assessments, which will include the Wisconsin card sorting task, trail making tasks, the Stroop, cognitive flexibility inventory, and the Monster-Einstein rigidity scale. And these are all measures of cognitive flexibility that will help us gauge what elements you've made progress on in terms of executive functioning and cognitive flexibility. As I mentioned, there are also possible add-on interventions that are also helpful with inflexible thinking, such as intranasal oxytocin, esketamine, transcranial direct current stimulation, and Endeavor RX, which is the first video game approved to treat ADHD by the FDA. And we can speak further with Dr. Hollander or your psychiatrist about adding these treatments on to your daily participation. And I also wanted to describe the interventions that we're going to be using in this program. So the first is mindfulness, which many of you may be aware of. So mindfulness involves having an open mind, being fully aware of your present moment, including your thoughts and emotions and physical sensations, with both acceptance and non-judgment. The second part of it is attentional control, which is the ability to stay focused on one item at a time. Mindfulness often gets confused with meditation. Mindfulness can be a part of meditation, but is separate because it requires more active focus and is kind of like a muscle that you can build over time with practice. And multiple research studies have showed that practicing mindfulness on a regular basis improves cognitive flexibility and attentional control. The second part of our therapy program is acceptance and commitment therapy. which combines mindfulness and acceptance strategies with a value-driven behavioral change. It's a type of third wave therapy treatment that's well known to increase psychological flexibility by helping people to overcome any avoidance that might contribute to ongoing suffering. The third part of our treatment program is cooperative video gaming. There are multiple studies that show that playing certain video games, mostly those that involve cooperative strategies, so multiplayer games that involves communicating with another person to achieve a set goal, that those increase communication strategies, self-regulation, and self-monitoring because the individual needs to verbalize their plan to their partner in order to achieve the goal of the video game. Additionally, video games require rapid set switching, which is a big part of cognitive flexibility. That is often referred to as multitasking. So that's our ability to change our attention from one item to another. And that can be very difficult to do for people who struggle with flexible thinking. So I know video gaming can have its downsides, but in this instance, especially when it's done in a therapeutic setting, cooperative video gaming can be used to improve cognitive flexibility and attentional control. And Joe Janine will also speak about this. So executive functioning skills are his kind of domain, and many of you may already be aware of what executive functioning is. So it's an important cognitive process that allows us to plan ahead, meet goals, display self-control, and follow multi-step instructions. And it allows us to stay focused despite distractions. And our program will work to build on these skills to strengthen your relationships, gain focus, boost your confidence, create short and long-term goals. And so in general, to be able to achieve more. In addition to kind of prioritizing all of these other executive functioning skills that you can see on the slide. And lastly, social skills training. So we are going to, Joe Janine will also be leading this aspect of the treatment, which will focus on improving social reciprocity and theory of mind. Many of you may already be familiar with social skills training. This will be done on a group level. And Joe is very experienced in leading this so that we can help build these skills and improve relationships. Okay, so now I'm going to just move to the Q&A and also let Joe speak.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, hi Joe. So I'll let you get started about your portion of the program.
Okay, so my portion of the program is executive functioning skills, and basically bringing everything together to work on your executive functioning skills so that how it will improve your life. For example, response inhibition. So think before you do. So that's also an emotion regulation skill. So you actually put it into practice. Your working memory. I always say working memory. Activate your prior knowledge and use it in the moment to finish something or start something. Emotional control when things are getting tough, when you're really happy, control your emotion, make sure your emotion matches what you're doing. Task initiation, start a task. And you may not be able to independently start a task, but what do you need to start the task? Who do you have to ask for help? What do you need to do? What do you have to have in place? What variables need to be in place or taken away? And then planning, looking at the whole picture, but not over planning, and also knowing what works for you. And we're going to talk about that, and we'll individualize all of this to your needs. Organization, what it means to be organized to finish that goal. And we'll be incorporating a lot of SMART goals too. So what you want to work on. And time management, it just doesn't happen overnight. So taking it down and managing your time so that the goal is achievable. And so goal-directed persistence, to keep going when things get tough. Not always easy, but to have things in place. And that also goes with, mindfulness and DBT and all of that, to use those skills and say, okay, I need to do this right now. or, actually talk out emotion regulation, opposite action, whatever it may be that works for you. Metacognition. So basically, to step back and think about your thinking, to look at it, at the whole picture. How are you and with working there, excuse me, and stress tolerance. When things are getting tough, what do you need to do? Who do you need to ask for help? Do you need to advocate for yourself? Okay, I need a break right now. I need to go for a walk, and to actually be able to have these things in place to achieve the goal that you're working on. And overall, this is going to help you in every aspect of your life. And I'm going to be incorporating some things such as exercise and, seeing what you're good at and using that to help you in all these areas. So everything will be individualized to you, and we'll have a lot of fun while doing it as well. And it's nice. It's a nice opportunity to take everything, put it together, and we'll do role playing and saying like, I did this, I didn't do that, or let's come up with a scenario of somebody doing what they did not have in place. They had all these things in place except for their sustained attention. The stress tolerance, they just lost it. Even though they were 99.9% done, they didn't breathe, they didn't take a walk, they didn't do whatever is needed for them. So everything will be tailored to your individual needs, but the big thing is it will help you in all aspects of your life.
That was great. Thank you, Joe. So now I just want to open it up to any questions about our treatment program. If you want to message me in the chat, I can answer any questions you have. You're also free to email Emily after this if you have questions that come up. We're here. Or if you're having trouble typing in the chat, if you want to raise your hand, I can unmute you to ask the question verbally or. I think I saw a hand raised. No? Okay. Did you have a question?
I do. Can you hear me?
Yes.
My question is, how large typically would a cohort be, a week-long cohort?
So we're anticipating between 3 and 10 people in the cohort.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Oh. I see a hand raised. Having trouble unmuting. Okay. Did anybody else have any questions that they'd like to type in the chat or ask verbally? Okay, and I realize that some questions might come up later. We'll make this presentation available to you so that you can look at it or listen to it with others or with your family if you didn't have a chance to have them join you for this. we're really looking forward to launching this summer treatment program. As you all may know, Dr. Hollander, he's an expert in his field, particularly in OCD and ASD and inflexible thinking, and is very excited to have this program as part of the many services that we offer at Spectrum Neuroscience. And we're very excited to lead this summer. We feel like it will be extremely helpful for those with inflexible thinking who are struggling right now, particularly during the summer when there is a lot of unstructured time, which can be extremely difficult for those that struggle with change and adapting to change. So again, please feel free to reach out to us with any questions that you have. Additionally, if you can't participate in our summer treatment program, but you're interested in some of these treatments independently, that is also a service we could provide. Both Joe and I see people individually, along with other clinicians on our staff who are all well versed in the treatments we discussed today, in addition to the pharmacological treatments that Dr. Hollander and other psychiatrists on staff provide. So that is also something we can do if you're interested in that, independent of the week-long program. So with that being said, I guess we will end our info session. We may have one more info session if needed, if you want to join again, but again, please feel free to email any questions to Emily and she'll make sure that we get them so that we can answer them for you. And we will make this video recording available as well. Okay, well, thank you so much, all of you, for attending. We hope to see you in our treatment program. Thank you, Joe, for speaking as well. All right, well, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Take care.
Yes, thank you. And please reach out if you have any questions or need anything clarified or any of that. All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.